Welcome to Sydney Olympic Park, the Olympic Hockey Centre, for this third of 3 international test matches between the Hockeyroos and China. Destination New South Wales, the Australian Sports Commission and the Australian Institute of Sport, and Ausdrill, the major partners on behalf of Hockey Australia, proud to present this third international. The Chinese women winning the first game by 4-1, and then a 1-1 draw in the second game. So this is a decider, a chance Lee Capes, former Olympic gold medalist, for the Hockeyroos to level the series.
Thanks, Gordon. Australia will be going out hard today. They need to win this test match to draw the series. A draw for China will be sufficient for them to win the series. But I think having 3 new players who've now got 2 test matches under their belts, I think we'll see a much more closer game and a much better display from particularly the forwards today. Hopefully Australia will be able to get up over China.
Here we are on Easter Monday, match 3. The Australians drawing the second match with as Lee Capes mentioned, a much improved performance. And China certainly well on top of Australia in the first game on Thursday night. And the Australians, in the words of Adam Commons, were about a metre off the pace. But they certainly improved quite dramatically. And these two sides first played in 1990. And Lee Capes, you were actually involved in that first match against China, but overall Australia has been very dominant, but they are desperate for a win here today.
Yes, certainly Adam was much happier with the second outing. After the first outing, he felt that the girls possibly were a little bit relaxed and took it a bit too easy, particularly the senior players. He was scathing of their lack of support for the younger players and the inexperienced players, but yes, the second test he was much more happy with the effort he saw.
And that first tier of spectators as the players come out just above the Sydney Olympic sign, Emily Smith's vast family could come all the way from Crookwell. There she is on the right there, Emily Smith. But the Hockeyroos, a relatively inexperienced side. I've got to say we've had about 3 seasons here in the last hour. Sydney's been hit by a torrential downpour. We had driving rain and now the sun's shining again. But the Hockeyroos, all smiling faces as we look at their starting lineup. Led by dual Olympian Madonna Blythe in her 295th international. And what an occasion for proud fellow Queenslander Tania Lattard as she chalks up her 200th international cap for the Hockeyroos. Number 3, Brooke Perris from Darwin, closing on her 50th. The 22-year-old has 47 caps today. 26-year-old Edwina Bone from the ACT has been a standout in the first 2 games, her 65th. And look out, the 22-year-old Emily Smith. And her brother and 3 sisters are in the crowd.
Starting lineup.
The Chinese women, led by Sui Chu Xia, number 7, have been buoyed by their performance with a win and a draw over their more fancied opponents. Number 2, Wang Mengyu, has taken over the role of the great Ma Yibo as general in defence and penalty corner sharpshooter. She's ably assisted by the emerging number 25, Bao Chen Chen. China's 2 field goals have been scored by 11, Liang Meiyu, the London Olympian, and 19, Zhong Zhaozhu, who stole the opening goal in match 2. Average age of the Chinese team is 23.5, and 9 members of the Hockeyroos, 22 or under, as we're underway in this third international, the deciding international. China with a win in the first game, a 1-1 draw in the second, and Australia looking to come back here and take a victory to level up the series.
Yes, and it's good to see Georgie Nanscorn back up in the striker role. She got that fantastic striking goal the other day, and which gave Australia the 1-1 draw. That's allowed Madonna Blythe starting off in the attacking mid-role, so that also is a really good attacking change for Australia. With Tania Lattard back from injury, Madonna Blythe will add a great deal of attack to the Australian unit.
Madonna Blythe, yes, her 295th international. What a fantastic performance. She's closing on the great Nikki Hudson, who I'm sure is watching this telecast today up on the Gold Coast. Nikki, a member of the great Hockeyroos side of 2000 who was successful here in the final against Argentina with 303 caps for her country, and Madonna Blythe up to 295 today. Wang Mengyu picking up Xi, and there's Tani Lattard getting in the way in defence for Australia. This is Li. China working it through the back, through the captain Sui, and lost almost there by De Jiao Jiao. And that's Wong Na, and she has impressed the coach Cho so far in the first 2 games. Good work there by Edwina Bone, leading out in defence.
Yes, Australia have started off with quite a experienced defence. They've got Jodie Kenny holding the centre defender role and Edwina Bone in the left defender role, with Madonna Bly posting up as attacking mid. So quite an experienced defence, with the inexperienced players possibly being substituted on shortly. Renee Taylor, after her excellent showing in the second test, she started as right defender, so she'll be excited with that.
And talking of exciting, some great news overnight. Jamie Dwyer, the legendary Kookaburra, his 322nd cap in Malaysia. He scored his 207th goal against Canada, so he's now the all-time record holder, the great Jamie Dwyer, for the Kookaburras. As China now through Wang Na, pressed there by Brooke Peris for Australia, number 3. Australia really out of the blocks very quickly in match 2, but not quite the same dynamic start here, as China have had more than their share of possession in the opening minutes. Xi. This is a promising build-up, and Renee Taylor did well in defence there for Australia. Just kept her eye on the ball.
She certainly did. China, once again, their trademark pinpoint passing accuracy. It let them down a little bit in the second game, but the first game, that was certainly, they were sharp.
Peng Yang, who's been one of the outstanding players for the Chinese so far. Good work by Dwyer in concert there with Taylor. Taylor now.
Fitzpatrick on for Hockeyroos.
This is Zhang, who got China's goal in the second game, and Jodie Kenny shows how it's done.
Certainly, Jodie Kenny's just a tower of strength back there. She really marshals the defence and keeps the whole defence in control.
De Jiao Jiao flicking the ball into the circle. Taylor again. Liang. Strong work by Edwina Bone. She's been outstanding in the early stages in defence for Australia. Madonna Blythe, the captain. Oh, a lovely ball. This is Spence. And now Blythe.
Hand on for Hockeyroos.
And she wins the free hit just outside the circle.
There seems to be a better connection today with Madonna up in that attacking mid-role between the strikers and the defensive mids. I think her experience will be greatly sought after, connecting those 2 lines.
Georgie Gardner trying to force an infringement in the circle. Zhang comes away. Wang Mengyu, and this is De Jiao Jiao. And noticeable that Fitzpatrick getting involved as well. Bao Chen Chen, that's not the best ball she's played in the last few days, as Australia have a chance to counter, but Sui was in the way. Kate Hanna got a pass back into the circle, and now China through Xi. Chasing hard there is Smith. It's a good breakout here by the Chinese.
Kate Jenner on for Hockeyroos.
Working nicely here with Pang Yang. Madonna Blythe in defence for Australia. Ooh, that could have been interesting. Just wide of Wang Na. And now it's Edwina Bone for Australia.
Yeah, there's Kate Hanna getting her second touch for the game in the defensive mid-role. Quite a key position for an inexperienced player, and she'll be really keen to be getting the ball early like she did just then.
Now here's a brilliant build-up. Georgie Gardner slips over, and that was unfortunate because that was a very impressive lead in there by the Australians down the right side. And again, just that slippery surface bringing Australia undone at the crucial moment. To Zhao Zhao over halfway. Picked up by Xi. And Kate Jenner with a good tackle.
Good work by Jenner. Right, Williams on Hockeyroos.
Two umpires are Alicia Newman from Toowoomba and Emily Carroll from the ACT. Emily plays with the old Canberrans, and Alicia Newman represented the Australian country last year.
And we're seeing Kate Jenner on the field in right defensive mode at the moment. Adam Commons has been toying with her up in the attacking mid-role for probably the last 6 months, but it's interesting to see her back in the right defensive position that she's so familiar with.
A good read by Wang Na. Australia again coming up with that hard press, suffocating defence, shutting down time and space for the Chinese. To Zhao Zhao. Georgia Nanscorn read it well, but just a little foot in the way as she came through. Pang Yang. Back to Sui. Wang Na. Wang Mengyu with a nice ball. Well, again, this is really nice lead up by China. And Kate Hanna comes away. Nanscorn. Nanscorn with nice stick work. Australia have a bit of space here with Edwina Bone. Jodie Kenny. Back to Dwyer. She was looking for Nanscorn. Good defence by the Chinese. Zhang on the far side did well. So did Liu. Now this is Wu Mengrong. And a penalty corner awarded.
Sorry, play by China down the right side of the field.
It's Bao Chen Chen. Good save there by Aswells. And again, 2 in a row. The 25-year-old from Latrobe.
Left, Jake, left! That's it, that's it! Oh!
Reaction here from the Australian goalkeeper.
Yes, Ashwells will be really happy with that. In the first game, her rebound led to a goal really early on in the game. And today, following up with the second rebound, really important for her team to keep that the goal out.
This is back with Zhu Zhao and De Zhao Zhao. And again, it collects another foot. It was another good ball into the circle. Some really crisp, accurate passing by the Chinese in the early stages has been a feature.
Yes, certainly. Edwina Bone would be very disappointed with that. She had it lined up. She was in good position. It was just a trapping error. Australia have had a better rate of defending penalty corners in the last game, so hopefully that will continue.
Watch out for Bao Chen Chen. This is Sui, the captain. Backhand shot, it's a beauty, but it's too high. Because it was a hit, it was above the backboard. It was not a drag flick, so no goal. Now that backboard is 4.6 metres high, and that one was over the top. But a nice variation by the Chinese.
Yeah, certainly to see a tomahawk used as a variation in a penalty corner, it could be quite lethal, as tomahawks quite often don't have a great deal of control, but that was just a little bit too high. Great deal of power, though.
Beautiful intercept there by Paris. They're not able to link up with a teammate. Again, well read by the Chinese defence. This is Wong Na. Australia through Hannah. Always looking to release the pass early, but China were on the ball. Well, we've seen some lovely movement in the game so far from both sides. Pang Young's pass misses Wang Na, but back now with Bao and Sui. This is De Zhao Zhao. We haven't seen Wang Mengyu, too much of her in this opening part of the first quarter. Their inspirational fullback. Maybe she's carrying a little injury. Dwyer.
Yeah, that was really good, strong defence by Dwyer, going for the hit, getting the deflection and gaining a good 10-15 metres for the Hockeyroos.
This is Wang Na going back to Sui, Zhu Xia, Bao Chen Chen. And this time Australia gets the free hit. Morgan plays on quickly, a lovely ball to Blythe. Here's a chance for Attard.
That was really close to being dangerous play. Madonna Blythe having to take evasive action. She appealed for the free, but I deemed it okay.
Jenner releases on the right here to Taylor. This is Spence. Battling hard. Stick obstruction. Australia looking dangerous here. Attard goes and finds Gardner. China then inside their 23. Nice work by Zhang. Wang Na. No one at home.
Yes, you saw the Australians trying to really smother the ball carrier then, and that's something that Adam Commons has been really asking of his girls, to really shut down and smother the defensive players and really put them under pressure. China still were able to get that out quite easily, but it's certainly better than what's been done in previous tests, so hopefully that continues.
Ma Wei, number 16. Sui has taken over that central defending role from Wang Mengyu. And there's the buzzer for the end of the first quarter. Well, it was a lively first 15 minutes, a lot of movement in the game, but no result at either end. Quarter time score, 0-0 between Australia and China.